So I'm Mireille Francis. I'm actually originally from Lebanon, and I used to work for the French Embassy in Saudi Arabia for more than 10 years. And this year, I decided to pursue my academic journey and do an MBA at ESSEC Business School, which is unfortunately coming to an end now. We're actually at the end of the program. And later on, I will be joining Cap Gemini in France as a managing consultant for the public sector. So previously, I was a communication manager for the military section at the French Embassy. So mainly, I was responsible for all the communications and public relations related to the Saudi government, to the defense Saudi government, plus the Ministry of Interior and all the affiliates that's linked to the government. So as a Lebanese and as a Middle Eastern, I can really relate both words, both the Western and the Arabic words. So it was quite a challenge, of course. As you know, Saudi Arabia is a bit complex country. So it was quite a challenging position, just try to tackle even the cultural differences between the two, especially the language as well. So it was quite enriching. I spent more than 10 years there, but at the moment of my career, sometimes you have to just anticipate and see what you want to do in the future. So, and it was just at the right time for me to decide to move to the private sector. And I felt that the MBA, especially ESSEC MBA, would be the right move to be able to change career, change the career perspective, and even change location as well. So that's what made me go to ESSEC. And I chose the strategy and digital leadership program because it was quite a holistic offering. You get to really see the 360-degree view of the ecosystem and the business. That's especially as someone coming from a completely different field at the public sector. So it was quite helpful. It was very enriching. And we covered all the main aspects of the ecosystem, and that's what led me to decide at the end to not really I pivoted actually my career. I didn't really shifted completely. I'm still working for the public sector, but from a consulting view. The public sector is really interesting. It's normally people cannot relate as much because we don't really know what is it inside. For my position, actually, being in an international environment is quite different. It was really super nice. But the problem for the public sector is sometimes just you arrive to a plateau, and that's what I felt like I will not be able to move forward, especially as a foreigner working for the French government. So I felt like it's the right move to utilize my experience that I had, but try to find a different path where I can really grow and excel and just give more of and be more enthusiastic, if I can say, about the future. So that's the main goal, I think, for every person who's pursuing an MBA, just to try to see where we can go forward from there and where we can really advance and excel in our career. The beauty of the MBA, if I can say, is that it gives you really a different perspective. Normally, you have already a couple of years of experience, which is crucial, because it's not the same as pursuing a master, for example, just after the bachelor, after the license. So you already have some experience, you already have even a bit of a view or experience about what's happening in the business world. So you already know that, and that makes you really a great candidate to be able to decide what do you want to do next. And sometimes when you start in a position, for example, okay, you be an expert in that field, but you will miss, like, I will give an example in communication, for example, because this is where I was working for. I was great. I did 10 years of communication and marketing for the public sector. I was great at it. I didn't really needed an MBA for that, but I didn't know any information about operation management, about macroeconomics, about financial management and statistics. So that's, even if I was the greatest communication manager, I would not have any idea about that. So the MBA gives you that holistic view and helps you really after that just decide what do you want to do next, where do you want to move, what do you want to focus on. And that's really the main advantage of the MBA. It's really holistic, and you can see everything. You're not going to become expert, obviously, in any field, but you can really have an idea where to move forward after that. It's quite a very hard decision, especially in France. So you have great schools, all of them really, of course, offers a great program, but you have to really, there's many, as I can say, what can I say? There is many points that comes to an end. First, for example, obviously the ranking. Second, where you want to work after that. 3, the duration of the MBA course, like sometimes you can have 1 year or 18 months and 2+ years. And the fourth, also the location probably. So I do really truly believe that the three schools that you mentioned are really good. There's no need to really just speak about that. It's just really about what you want to do next after that. For me, for myself, I knew that I wanted to stay in France. So the international exposure was not really super important for me, for my case, and I do speak French as well. So it was quite really the turning point of my decision. And plus I didn't mention the budget as well. So there's some differences in budget also. So the 3 points led to my decision to pursue an ESSEC, because ESSEC is really very, very French oriented, as you know, with a really well established French roots also. For myself, I thought I was coming from an international background, considering my experience, and I came and I discovered a whole new world. So I was super happy, and during this year, we were actually 40 persons coming from 14 different nationalities. So it was quite enriching. You have really a person from every corner of the world, and you get to have lifetime friendship from everywhere, really. So also with that, it comes also some challenges, because you have the cultural background that's different. You have, the people who are, like we said, coming from different expertise areas. Sometimes the things that's obvious for you are not really obvious for other cultures. So that was really important. I learned a lot about that, and I feel like I really can use that for my whole life, even my personal life. Not really also not even in the professional world even. I learned that I do take a lot of things personally, and which is not really a good thing to do in the academic world, or even professionally and even personally. So sometimes you really have to think that nothing is really personal. And during the MBA is a competitive environment. You come, of course, you come to learn. You come to change your career, and peer pressure is there. You just really have to, separate yourself a bit, and just again try to see the whole picture. Why you came here? What's your goal? What's your objective? And just focus on yourself, and not really take the pressure negatively, because it tends to be the pressures is really high between the academic assignments, between having to network and all the networking events that are happening. And sometimes it's overwhelming, because you have a lot of things to do, and you feel like you're lost where you should really focus and not is really crucial. So making a bilan, just an agenda of what's your goals, what's your objectives from the first place, and just stick to that would be the best thing to do, I think, during this year. Actually, the MBA was a great tool for me to make this switch. And it was not that easy. So the main competitiveness for the ESSEC is, regardless of the academic courses that we have, they do work a lot on your personality, on your soft skills. So we had a lot of courses on soft skills, on negotiation, how to present ourselves, the 1-minute lift presentation, for example. And we had a lot of great professors, great speakers that we met, and even seminars and workshops, most probably on Saturdays, which is not really, really nice, but actually it was really, really helpful. Then for the part of the management consulting, I actually never thought about that when I came at the MBA at the beginning. I just came really with an open mind. I knew that I wanted to change sector, but I wasn't really sure where to go. So I really tried to discover, and I spoke with a lot of people. And this is also the thanks of the ESSEC alumni network. I spoke a lot of people coming from the luxury industry, the motor industry, the defense as well, because it's one of my preferences. So I kept a very broad and an open eye with everything. And then after just discussing with so many people and speaking of what I really want to do next, that's where I found that consulting may be the right fit for me. And it was actually during a course of management consulting with a professor working at Cap Gemini. We had a course of management consulting. Our professor was a great professor with more than 30 years of experience in consultancy. So during the course, we had to invite the top 5 or top 6 consulting firms in France or just in Europe. So, and we had to make a study about each company and present it while the guests or invites while the guests are there. So he designed the group, and for my chance it was Cap Gemini study case. So I studied a lot about that. That's how I discovered actually the company. I knew it from just by name, but I didn't really know about it, what they're doing, what the field of expertise they have. So I did a lot of studies about that. And from each firm, there was the HR who's coming also to the presentation. So obviously during the year, you can apply everywhere and literally everywhere. That's what's really important also during the MBA. So I applied I sent my CV and I got a call from the HR department. Obviously because I have an expertise in the public sector, so it was quite their interest in me. And then it was quite fast forward, and that's what I really love about Cap Gemini, that I had 5 rounds of interviews, but with the 2 weeks span, for example. And the great part and the thing that I really do remember and really want to focus on is that they give you just the feedback just after the interview. So they don't leave you just waiting. I did well, I didn't do well, what happened? So that was great. And that's it. It was quite fast forward, and I finished that in April, end of April. It was just really in the middle of the MBA program. Well, just one word: LinkedIn. Just use LinkedIn. I know sometimes people are skeptical about, how can I send a message? I don't know the person. Will they ever respond? Will they not respond? Of course, you will not get 100% response rate. That's not really even possible in the real world. So just go over there. Just try to find a good 2-3 sentences, not a paragraph. Nobody wants to pass 5 minutes to read a paragraph that we don't from the person that we don't know. Just pick your words wisely. Try to attract the person in front of you, and why do you want to speak to him? And specifically, just don't ask for a job from the first time. Just don't do that. Just tell them that we need to just have a quick chat, have a 5-minute call, and try to link always your ESSEC background, but because this is what makes people sensitive, and that's what is happening already with me for example, for the MBA batch that's coming next year. So whenever you see that you have an alumni that interests you, just tell you're from ESSEC and why you want to speak to him. Not just because you have free time, because you have purpose, you want to learn, you want to just hear about their experience and make it sounds like it's about them, not you. That's really important. So I would say that's good.